Hello and welcome to this official guide to using Answer the Public for keyword research, content planning and more. I'm Sophie Coley from searchlistening.com and we're the official education partner of Answer the Public. I've been using the tool since the very day it launched, so I've got loads of tips to share with you. In this video, I'm going to give you a proper run through of the tool, both the free and the pro versions, and explain where we get our data. I'll answer some of the questions we get asked most frequently, like how do I find volumes for the keywords and how do I stop the weird old guy. I'll also get you thinking about the seed words and phrases you put into the tool, because ultimately the quality of what you put in dictates what you get out. Let's get started. Answer the Public is a web-based tool, so there's no software to install. It basically scrapes and collates Google's auto-suggestions for any seed keyword or phrase that you like. To be really clear, by Google's auto-suggestions, I mean the pre-populated questions or sentences you'll see when you start typing something into Google. As you'll know, these auto-suggestions change each time you enter a new character, and Answer the Public is set up to capture the entire alphabet relating to your seed term. So if you entered diet, it would capture everything from diet A, diet B, diet C, right through to the full alphabet. And it will also use a whole load of other terms, so things like which diet, what diet, why diet, and it will capture everything that's related to any of these terms. By the way, Google makes the specific suggestions it does because it's seen lots of other people using those sentences and phrases recently. So you can be sure that everything returned is current and relevant. Answer the Public displays the data it gathers in a couple of ways which appeal to different people and have different benefits. Let's dive in and I can show you what I mean. So it's answerthepublic.com, and unless you already have a pro version and you're permanently logged in, it will load you with the free version of the tool, and here's what it looks like. If I just scroll down the page a little bit, you can see the box. This old guy here in the background is the seeker. He is the face of Answer the Public. I know that some people love him and some people hate him. You can click and pause him at any point, which might make him a little bit less distracting if that's a problem for you. This box here is the kind of key box that you need to use in terms of typing in any of your seed terms. I'll come back to it in a second. I just want to show you this language box first of all. So you can type in seeds in any of the languages that we support, and this is the current list. I'm going to go with English. Region will come onto when I go through the pro version. And I'm just going to type in hotels to show you what a report looks like. So the report has loaded. Again, I will come onto this compare box a bit later on when we go through the pro features of the tool. I just want to show you what the report looks like right now. So one thing to note is this really handy bar, which will stay at the top as you scroll down through the report. And it's just a really nice shortcut to any of the other sections. So the questions, the prepositions, the comparisons, the alphabeticals, and the related terms. So the first thing you'll see is that all of your data is loaded up into these really nice visually engaging wheels. This is the question wheel, so we've got everything relating to can, will, where, why, how, what, which, who, when and are. And all of the data is loaded up like this. One feature of the wheels that I'm not sure too many people are aware of, but it's really, really useful, is the ability to click on any of the terms and see the Google results page for it. So who's ranking and with what content. So if I click here on who inspects hotels, you'll see opened up in this new tab it's as if I've actually just performed that search myself, and you can see there's an answer box here and I can go down and see all of the other content that's ranking for this term. It's done it in a new tab, so I can just hop back into my report and keep scrolling as I want to. So if you want to see the data in a different view, you can come back up here and click data rather than visualization, and you'll see you get all the same data, but it's just listed out in a more kind of linear format. If you did like the visual element of the wheels, but you found it a bit cluttered, you do have the option here to click image, and you'll see that it brings up just that one term, that one branch, but in a much cleaner way. And you can screen grab that, put that in presentations, do what you want with it. We can exit out of that. I'm just going to go back into visualizations and scroll down the report. So this was our question wheel. But we then have the prepositions, so without, with, to, can, for, near, and is. If I keep going, we've got the comparison wheel, which is versus, like, or, and vs. We then have all the alphabet terms, so I'm just going to keep scrolling and go through the whole alphabet. And then you'll see right at the bottom of the report here, we've got the related wheel. Now the related wheel literally just means the top suggestions. So it's as if on this example, if I typed hotels into Google's search bar and then hit space, no alphabets after it, no question words. These are effectively the top suggestions that Google would serve up right now. I'm just going to ping up to the top of the report, and this questions shortcut is a quick way to do that. I'm going to show you the two main ways that you can export data from Answer the Public. So the first is obviously the image visuals, and you might want to do this to put it in a presentation. I found it really useful in the past to just print them out on huge bits of paper and get people actually poring over them sort of with a pen offline. So to export anything visual, you'll just want to click Save Image here. You'll see it says generating image for just a few seconds. And that will soon turn to download image. So you can just click that and it will replace your whole report with just the image. So here you can right click and you can save the image and do as you want. You can also zoom in on this view. To get back into the report, you just need to go back in your browser and it will reload everything you had before. So the other way that you can download data is with the download CSV button. And you might want to download the data into CSV if you want to chop it up in any way, you want to analyze it a bit further, you might want to filter some stuff out, you might want to build some graphs or some word clouds. And it's really simple, just click download CSV. You'll see that the download has started down here and I will get the CSV through when that's done. We get sent loads of questions every day from the thousands of you using the tool, so I wanted to answer some of the most frequently posed ones here and now. The three I'm going to cover off are: 1, how can I get search volumes for the terms in my report? 2, what does related mean? And 3, how recent is the data in the reports? So how can I get search volumes for the terms in my report? We get asked this a lot. I'm actually going to do another video on it very soon which looks at it in more detail, but for now there's a few things to take note of. 1, as many people suggest, you can download a plugin like Keywords Everywhere, and that will show you volumes. Please feel free to do that. It will give you volumes next to each search term when you hover over them like this. So this is me working with it installed. But if you're anything like me, you're going to get frustrated, and here's why. Keywords Everywhere, like every other kind of mass market keyword volume tool, takes its data from the keyword planner. And it doesn't recognize any value in these kind of editorial, more long tail terms. It's just not set up for that. So actually what you're going to get, things like, can lettuce be grown in a greenhouse? This is telling me that there's 0 searches a month. Can lettuce make you sleepy? Again, 10 searches a month. Are lettuce wraps gluten-free? 0 searches a month. Now, it's just wrong. There is not nobody searching for these terms. Google is suggesting them to people because other people are searching these terms. So yes, Keywords Everywhere will give you data, but it's not going to be great quality data. Answer the Public typically generates what's known in the search world as long-tail keywords, so questions and sentences around your chosen topic. But pretty much every tool that gives marketers keyword volumes is built with a focus on more generic, highly commercial terms. These are typically shorter phrases or single words, usually with obvious buying intent, so dresses or holidays. There's very little publicly available data on how many searches are performed for what you might call more editorial or informational terms like, can you wear dresses with trainers, or can you go to America on holiday with a criminal record? I'm sure Google knows, but it's one of its many closely guarded secrets. And it's these terms that Answer the Public surfaces. So despite what most keyword volume tools tell you, they're not low volume, and it's not true that they don't have commercial potential or that you should disregard them. You just need to look at prioritising them in a different way. We built the green gradient dots onto the wheel visualizations to help you do that. They show you, at the time of you running your report, what's being suggested by Google the most. So terms with a darker green dot, like these ones here, they're top of Google's suggestions for your seed term. While the fainter green dots, they're still appearing in Google's auto suggestions, but they're just further down the list. So you can kind of think of it as what's trending. What does related mean? I covered this off earlier when I ran through the report, but to recap, the related section of the report, right down here at the bottom, this is effectively the top suggestions for your seed. So if you typed marketing into Google and then added a space without any of those question or preposition or comparison terms, or any letter of the alphabet, this is what would come up. It's effectively the top suggestions. How recent is the data in the reports? So it's important to remember that Answer the Public basically scrapes and surfaces Google's auto-suggestions. Annoyingly, Google isn't entirely transparent about the time frame from which it pulls its suggestions. What we do know is that it's current and it reacts to breaking events. So if a big name celebrity died unexpectedly and you put their name into Answer the Public on that day, you'd expect to see plenty of terms around their death because Google will have picked up on the news and adjusted its suggestions accordingly. Equally, if you're interested in exploring how people search around something highly seasonal, you're best off running that report at that time, so Easter for Easter eggs. Basically, if you're looking for Christmas insights in July, then Answer the Public isn't going to give you the most relevant results because it pulls in live Google data. I said it before, but it's so true that the quality of what you put into Answer the Public dictates the quality of what you get out. So here are some top tips for getting to solid inputs. Number 1, work with the prepositions. I've taken you through all the different bridge words we've built into the tool, which get combined with your seed term. All the question words, the preposition words, and the comparison words. Get familiar with them and don't use them in your seed terms, so don't bother entering things like diets for. You just need to enter diets, and the tool will surface all the for terms for you. Equally, don't bother with full sentences or questions. So if you enter something like which moisturiser for dry skin, you're effectively asking Answer the Public to explore where which moisturiser for dry skin and will which moisturiser for dry skin, and so on. So just stick with 1 or 2 word phrases for your seeds and keep it simple. Try multiple similar inputs. You might think of your business focus in one way, maybe it's flights, but don't just explore flights in Answer the Public. Try aeroplanes, try airports, flying and in-flight too. Explore everything related to your focus and think of all the verbs, the adjectives, the nouns that are relevant. Just don't fall into the trap of using corporate jargon. Consider how real people search for your products or your services or your brand. Think about my versus a. So making nouns possessive brings back some really interesting stuff, and it will give you a different perspective. Sticking with the flights example, I'd suggest you try my flight as well as flights. So think about how people actually use Google. Think about how you actually use Google. You don't stop searching once you've bought a flight. You might look for further information after booking, but the flight's now yours, so you're going to search in a slightly different way. This is really just scraping the surface in terms of using Answer the Public in an advanced way. There's so much more that you can do, going way beyond traditional keyword research and content planning. We've started to explore that over on searchlistening.com, which is where we're creating lots of useful content which will teach you how to use Answer the Public like a boss. So head over and sign up if you're interested in learning more. I took you through the basic version of the tool earlier, so here's where I'm going to show you the enhanced features that you find in the Pro version. We're filming this in August 2019, so as and when new features are added, we'll be sure to film updates for you. But right now, there are 7 reasons to sign up to Answer the Public Pro. Number 1, you'll be able to run as many searches as you like every day, and you can have unlimited team members. With the free version, you're capped in terms of daily searches, and in my experience, you'll get through your allowance in no time at all. Pro has no throttle, and you can have as many users as you like on your account, so you won't be seeing this screen. You'll be able to choose what region your results are for, as well as the language, and you can set a default for your needs. Earlier I showed you how you can select a language which you want to see results in your report for, that was using this box here. Once you're logged in and signed up as a Pro user, you can actually also choose a region, and the beauty of this is that for languages like English, which I'm set to at the moment, it means you can determine whether you want to see results from the UK or the US or Australia, who all speak English, but obviously you will see different results from different localities. Also things like Canada, you might want to select French from this list and see the results in Canada versus actual France. So you can combine it as you like, and you can also set a default so that it just automatically loads to the language and region that you use most frequently. You'll be able to compare results for the same term across different time periods and see what's new. I think this is so powerful. So provided you've run a report at some point in the past, if you rerun that same term, Pro will now highlight which terms are new. You just need to run the report in the here and now. So I'm going to show you with Brexit because it's a great one to compare over different time periods. So you just want to enter your search term into the bar, run the report and let it load. Once it's loaded, just click Compare Data right at the top here, and you'll see these are all the different times that I've run Brexit as a report. So you can choose whichever period you want to compare against, and you can compare against today or any other term that you like. Just hit Compare. And what you can see now is anything in green is effectively new terms that weren't appearing in the report last time I ran it or in the original date, but are appearing in this date. You can see here you've got a handy little visualization of how many new terms have been generated. And then as you go down, you'll see anything that's highlighted in green is effectively on the report for the comparison period that you're running it against. So today or whatever period that you've chosen as the kind of new time period. So it's really useful for seasonal stuff, for anything that's trending, and you'll get some really interesting insights out of this. So from this you'll get insights around seasonality, which means you can easily compare and contrast searches around like turkeys month to month. I'd imagine you'll get more interesting and relevant stuff as Thanksgiving and Christmas approach, but I'd be interested to see how people search for turkey recipes in the summer. It also helps you to track sentiment around topics around which sentiment shifts rapidly. So I've been tracking Brexit searches over the past few months, and it's been fascinating to see what specific concerns come and go, from its effect on business to the healthcare system to farmers and beyond. You'll be able to export higher resolution images of the wheels. I talked about putting these wheels in presentations and printing them out for people to explore earlier. Being able to get those images in high res is game changing. You'll be able to delete irrelevant terms or whole sections as you need. So if you've used the tool a few times or you're an avid user, you'll likely have spotted some weird or irrelevant terms in your reports. Answer the Public automates the gathering of the data, but it doesn't do the quality control. That's your job. I used to take a pen and scribble out anything I didn't want to show a client on printed out versions, but now you can customise and delete terms from your report, which is so useful. Here's how. Run your report and click into the data view as opposed to the visualizations one, and you'll see all your data here, and what you'll see is this hide box. So if you click on any of these hide boxes, you'll see the boxes are actually disappearing. They're not being deleted altogether. If I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that they're here and they're just in grey. You can reinstate any of the boxes by just clicking show, and it will bring it back up to the top. You don't have to do this just for whole branches, whole boxes. You can actually do it for individual terms. So for dresses can here, you can see that actually there's all sorts of stuff coming up for Canada, which I might not want. So actually on that one, I might want to hide the whole branch. On dresses is Spanish, I might not want that in my report, and I can click this minus here, is noun, is a sentence. I can get rid of all of these. Again, they're not being deleted permanently, they are hiding down here at the bottom. They're greyed out with a cross through, so they won't be appearing, but if I do want to bring them back, I can click on this plus. It's worth noting here as well that we're doing it in the data view, but anything that you do here will carry through to the visualization view. So if I hide a few more branches, all that we have left now is with and without. If I click back into visualizations, you'll see on this wheel now, it literally is just with and without. So that allows you to get really custom. So as I said, hide whole branches if you're not into what's on them. If there's specific suggestions that you'd rather not show, maybe they're completely irrelevant, inappropriate, whatever it is, you can delete them out one by one, and you can come back into this visualization view and get your custom wheel. Your reports will be saved. Another really useful feature here, so Pro saves all your reports. If I jump back up to the top, in this My Reports button up here in the main menu, you can click on that and you'll see everything that I've ever run. What's really useful here is that you can open up any of the reports directly just by clicking on the name of what you searched for. You can also delete anything if you want to keep things in order, and you can also download CSV exports directly from this page. So a really useful dashboard. You'll get priority customer support. So very occasionally things go wrong, or you might need the team's help around a specific issue or question. We obviously support all of our customers, but as a Pro subscriber, we'll prioritise your needs. Simple as that. So that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed the official guide on how to use Answer the Public. We've been through a lot. We've been through what the tool is, how it works, and where all its data comes from. We've been through the detail that you can find in the reports, so the wheels and how you can click on the search terms displayed within them to see what the Google results look like, as well as the alphabet section and the related section at the bottom. I showed you how to export the data so that you can work with it however suits you, perhaps images for presentations or the CSV version if you want to cut, filter or graph the data. I've answered some of your most frequently asked questions, so now you know why you shouldn't get too hung up on traditional keyword volumes, how recent the data you get is, and what we mean by related on that final wheel. I've given you some ideas on how to find better quality inputs for your reports to generate better and more insightful results. So hopefully you'll get busy experimenting with different phrasings and exploring what happens when you add my to your seed. And finally, I've taken you through the benefits of signing up to the Pro version and all the features you get as a Pro user, from time comparisons to deleting irrelevant results to high-res image exports and more. I really hope all that's been useful, and I mentioned it earlier, but if you're hungry for more and you're coming round to this idea that Answer the Public can be used for so much more than keyword research and content planning, please do head over to searchlistening.com. As I said, we at Search Listening are the official education partners of Answer the Public, and we really want to help you use the tool to its full potential. So check out our content. I've written a book all about how to use Answer the Public better, and we also have things like infographics which you can download and keep on your desk or your desktop as a reminder on how to get the best out of the tool. That's all over at searchlistening.com. Thanks again, and have fun answering the public.